Deborah, is that factual? So let me wait for hear from Deborah really quickly so that I can post this, and then we'll get back into the webinar here and we'll get a little bit more into Facebook advertising, some really, really cool things that you can do. But Deborah, so is that pretty factual there? 23 seller leads, and I assume that's within probably, well, you got 2 listings, so it was over time, I guess. So Deborah, real quickly, if you can let me know that that looks good. Oh, don't worry about that, Deborah, right now. I'll get with you. I'll send you an email, and you can email me back, Deborah, on that for those examples. So I'll email you directly, Deborah, and then you can just reply back to me after the webinar is over with here. But so, Deborah, you got 23 seller leads and 2 listings, and okay, I'll post that, and if I need to edit that a little bit later, I will. Oh, all right, all right, well, whatever. I hate that image. That image drives me crazy. All right, a couple other things here on the pop-up. There's a couple of really, really, really good webinars recorded. One from Neil Wolf. If you are a new agent or an agent with not a lot of listings, I recommend reading or watching that one. There is also a webinar from Shannon Pyatt, which is awesome. And then how to generate seller buyer and referral leads from listings that go into contract right here. They all open new windows, so you can click on them. You're not going to lose where you were at in the account. And let me just go ahead and close a few. I'll leave that one up. So great stuff on the pop-up. Also on the account homepage, getting started, Facebook advertising, open house lead generation, the listing presentation, how to generate leads. I'm sorry, how to win listing presentations. You'll nail it every single time if you just follow the examples here. Get into the mastermind group, online tutorials. If you're an agent, if you're a broker and you want to bring listing leads to all your agents, you can get more information here. And let's go to the listings dashboard. Hey, Deborah, how many postcards did you send out? Somebody's asking. So on the listings dashboard, let's talk about listing landing pages first. All right. Here's every listing has a listing landing pages. Excuse me. Every listing has a listing page. You'll find the listing landing page right here under listing landing page. And Deborah, what company did you use? This is my listing landing page. I'm going to show you how to change that image first, and then we'll put it up on Facebook as an ad. And then we can also put it on Facebook as a regular post. We can also do a post and boost it like an ad. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do there. All right. So let's change the image first, because this is really, really important, because you only want to run a listing landing page for about a week and then change out the image, because otherwise it gets stale after a while. All right, you're going to attract new audiences as you change out that image, even if everything else is the exact same. All right, so to change the image, click on the virtual tour icon. And of course, first make sure your images are here. And you will see under my images, check the image you want to use. So in this case, I checked the front of the house. Click Save All Edits. And once that saves and refreshes, my listing landing page will now be of the front of the house, right? A lot of the times, front of the house, the kitchen, the backyard, right? Anything else that you think may be of note regarding that particular listing. These are all great images to use, because again, somebody may see a Facebook ad of the kitchen and click. Somebody else may see a Facebook ad of the front of the house and click, right? The backyard, they see the ad of the backyard and they click it. So we want to be able to show different images over time, because they're going to attract different people. Now, note I'm subscribed to the Texan IVR service, so that will display automatically. We have a lot of Canadian clients in your profile. Use Canadian version of tools. Make sure that it's checked in your profile so that we use the text-to for the 888 number so that it works in Canada, all right? So anyways, here's my listing landing page. What happens is when people land on this off of Facebook, they put in their name, their email, and their phone number. You'd be surprised at how many phone numbers you get from this, which is awesome, right? I can't give you a percentage, right? Sometimes people won't even put in a phone number, but it's actually surprising how many phone numbers you get from this, which is absolutely awesome. They click get the information, you get the lead, and they are taken to the Single Property website automatically. You know, I just got a text notification of the lead. I'll get an email notification, and then I will also get the lead in my lead tab in my account. If I've got Wise Agent, Top Producer set up, or Realty Juggler, Follow Up Boss, any of those type of BombBomb, those leads will automatically drop into those programs as well, which is where we want them. All right. So now I've got the lead, right? Make sure you take those leads. If they don't click through, like I'm going to show you next, make sure you put those leads in either your MLS or your IDX for new listing alerts for homes similar to this one. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? So for any of the leads that come off a listing landing page, make sure you get those leads into your IDX or MLS for new listing alerts for similar type homes. Now, if you are an agent, you've only got 1 or 2 listings or no listings, borrow listings from other agents, all right? Offer the agent that's had a home on the market for 2 or 3 months or 6 months that you'd like to do some Facebook advertising with that home. They're probably going to let you do it. If you're not sure how to do that, talk to your broker. But a lot of our clients, in fact, watch that Neil Wolf webinar on the account homepage pop-up. That Neil Wolf webinar, he talks a lot about borrowing listings. All right. So now somebody lands on my Single Property website. I've already got them as a lead. But from here, I got Granite Bay Home Values link, nearby sold homes in Granite Bay Homes for Sale. So here they go to my IDX, and they can save a search here, in which case by the time I get to my IDX, if that's what I use, I may not even have to do it because I'm going to see them in there already. So, you know, they sign up right here. They may be a homeowner in the area. And so they click on where it says Granite Bay Home Values and go to a property valuation landing page. Or maybe they click on nearby sold homes in Granite Bay and go to one of the nearby homes sold landing pages. Right, and I start generating seller leads. As I scroll down my Single Property website that they're taken to automatically, this is a little bit of an advanced thing here, but I even did an embed of a property valuation landing page inside of my Single Property website. Right, pretty cool. As we're looking at all the information about my listing, everything is completely mobile responsive. We don't use mobile versions per se, in that it's a different URL like a lot of people do. For all of our tools, are just 100% mobile responsive, which is way better. Right, I can take this URL and put it anywhere, and it will work beautifully. All right. So let's go back to the listing dashboard. And now that we talked about how to change out images for the listing landing page and why, I told you what happens when somebody fills out the listing landing page and what to do with those leads. Now let's put it up on Facebook. All right, so again, here's my listing. Here's my listing landing page. I'm going to copy that URL, hit Command-C on my keyboard for a Mac, and go over to Facebook. And I'm going to use the drop-down arrow right there. And I'm going to go to Create Ad. And that will come up. Send people to your website. I do have a write-up on this that I will give you. So you don't need to write down anything, just watch. Campaign name. There's 3 things I put in there. The property address, so I know what the listing was down the road. The status, just listed. And then front of home. that listing landing page is going to change over the course of the listing. Every time the status of that listing changes, so if it was coming soon, that would have said coming soon in Granite Bay. If it was just listed like this one, it'll say just listed. If there's an open house, it'll say open house. When it goes pending, it'll say pending. When it's just regular for sale, it'll say for sale. And then when it's sold, it'll say just sold. So that listing landing page will change over time as the status of the listing changes, which is why I put the status of the listing here. And then, like I talked about earlier about changing out those images, I put the image I'm using so that I know down the road which one was the best one to use. All right, so that's part one. Part two, custom audiences. I'm sorry, not custom audiences. I'm going to put in the zip code. I can add another zip code if I want to. So I might go 95747. And we do this so that we don't end up with something like Granite Bay. So if you type in the city, it will actually default to like Granite Bay plus 25 miles. And that's really bad because we do not want to be attracting 1 million plus people to our ad, 980,000 of which, or 950,000 of which are not good targets to see my ad. All right, so we use zip codes to really help try to alleviate that, to avoid that. So I got my zip code, so all these people in this area are going to see my ad. A lot of times people will do something like minimum age, 24, 25, what have you, just so we don't get a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds looking at my ad who are not really in the market to buy a home. If they are in your area, by all means, leave it at 18 plus, but in most areas people will take that to 24 plus. And you can even take that 65 plus and just do 60 if you wanted to. Right? So kind of keep that down like that. That's section 2. In section 3, I'm going to change my daily budget to $5 a day. And again, this is important. We discuss it in the write-up that I'm going to give to you. Always set an end date, right? Otherwise, Facebook will try to run your ad, right, for $20 a day for a month. Well, I only want it to run for $5 a day, and you can do $10 a day, $15. You can do whatever you want to. All right. I just $5 as a minimum starting point. So I'm going to set my end date January 19th. Use the calendar to toggle back to January 26th. That'll run for a week. And then ad set name again, I'll just do same as before. All right. Again, just like I did before. And then lastly, just scroll down. I'm using my Coming Soon Granite Bay community page. So here's what my ad's going to look like. You edit it on the left. You'll see what it looks like on the right. Right now I got just listed in Granite Bay. And above the image it says get the current price, photo details, and more now. So you can change this however you want. So there's a lot of different things you can do here. You can mix it up, right? The key is kind of keep it simple. So I'm going to go just listed in. You only get so much text, so sometimes you got to kind of play with it a little bit. So you'll see that will update on the right. There we go. It says just listed in Granite Bay. Now, under Show Advanced Options, I'm actually going to bring over, and we'll go back to my listing landing page. And if I'm using the text, right, either in Canada or the US, I'm just going to copy that into Facebook. So I'm just going to paste that in the newsfeed link description. Let's let it update. And the reason I do this is especially on mobile, it's actually easier on mobile, right? The landing page is completely mobile responsive. It's, works great, but it's on mobile, it's actually easier to text than it is to fill out a lead form. Test it out yourself sometime if you want. You'll see when I'm on mobile, if I'm on my smartphone and I see an ad that looks like this, all I've got to do is thumb on the 25678 number, and I'll get the option, do you want to send text to this number? And I just select yes. Type in 10001 or whatever the extension is for the listing. And I, as the agent, I'll get the lead notification with the phone number, caller ID where available. And then as a person, I get the mobile responsive virtual tour sent back to me. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? Typing in 5 numbers, the 10001 number, whatever the extension is for your listing, is a lot easier than putting my name and email. Right? It's just easier. All right. Now, if I want to add something above or below this, I could. And then over here on below the image, I'm going to remove desktop right column, remove audience network, and hit place order. So now I've got an ad that's going to run off my community page. This is what it's going to look like and say. Right? They'll be able to click the ad to go to the listing landing page, or they'll be able to send a text to 25678 to get the mobile responsive virtual tour sent to them, and I get the phone number automatically. Any questions? So earlier, Deborah said she sent out 2,500 postcards using a local printer. And Deborah, let me ask you real quickly, have you ever done a just listed postcard before? I've never spoken to Deborah about this before, so I hope I get some good answers, but just give us your correct answer, or the right answer, the truthful answer. Kathy, to remove desktop right column, we hear and we've seen, it just doesn't perform well. It just doesn't perform well. Mobile performs well in most areas. Some areas it doesn't, but you'll never know until you try it. All right, so Deborah, if you get a chance, let us know if you've ever done postcards before, and just how these ones that you did compared to those. Kind of curious. 2 listings plus 23 seller leads. That's pretty good. And the cool thing is, and you'll never really know this unless you talk to the people, but those people that got Deborah's postcard, they may very well have seen her ads on Facebook, but for whatever reason, they just didn't respond to them. But kind of in the back of their mind, right, they had seen her stuff, right, they've seen her on Facebook, so that when they get the postcard, right, there's already a familiarity with her. And so that's why I think, and that's why we talk about doing this, because all of this stuff builds on each other, right? Doing Facebook ads, sending out letters or postcards or in your email and newsletter to people, all of that stuff builds on each other, because, they may have seen the Facebook ad and just never really been motivated, and they get the postcard or the letter and they leave it sitting there on their countertop. And that's why in all that stuff we have the text information, because they may be sitting there, the postcard or the letter on their countertop, and just walk by it because they're busy on whenever they get it. So they leave it there and they walk by a little bit later and they got a little bit more time. The kids are finally in bed, dinner is finally made, whatever it is, and they pick up the letter or the postcard, and they got the smartphone in the right hand, they got the letter or the postcard in the left hand, and they got the option of either going to the URL or texting, and they kind of pick their poison, and boom, you get the lead, right? So that's what we love. And again, all of that stuff on that post, right, about how to generate seller leads off of Facebook, all of that was just feedback from our clients, right? Michael here, I just dropped 639 EDDM postcards, got 3 full leads and 9 partials, right? Not bad, right? And the cool thing is, Michael, and just like we found out with our other clients that were doing this, and Deborah, you too, as you continually do this, right? So let's say on the postcards you do it monthly, you're going to start seeing more and more leads. And the cool thing is, come back to us in the mastermind group or read that post. As you tweak out those postcards, you just start getting better responses as well. But you'll never find out anything until you start doing it. All right. So 639 EDDM postcard. If you're not familiar with what EDDM is, look it up. That's a great service from the post office, right? 3 full leads, 9 partial. Michael, how long ago did you send those until you got the 3 full leads? And again, also make sure that you, and I say make sure, but I just highly recommend that, just like Deborah talked about, I think let me see here if I can find it. Yeah. Where it says number 3 here, this is an example of a postcard that would work well. Right, again, I click that. Here's a postcard. What I like about this postcard, it's just simple, easy, right? It's got the vanity URL right across the top there. Right, that's his landing page. So they go to the landing page and they see it. They can see what they're going to get at the landing page. Right, he's talking about the listing on this side. Right, so you maybe see, oh wow, it hit Saturday and all 12 by Sunday morning. Wow, like 24 hours. That's not bad. Not bad. And you know what? Maybe a FSBO, right? Maybe you can use a FSBO listing if you get permission from them. Hey, look, do some little marketing for your home, right? To a FSBO, use a FSBO like this, right? Just put FSBO instead of just listed, right? So there's all sorts of things that you can do here, right? Maybe you don't have a new listing, but maybe you sold a listing in December, right? Yeah, you might be stretching a little bit, but so what? Just sold, right? Do it just sold like this, and then your landing page vanity URL pointing to the landing page on this side. Does that make sense for everybody? Maybe your buyer just bought the home, right? You could do something like this with that, right? So there's a lot of things you can do with the listing, right? Whether it's your listing, your buyer bought the listing, it's a FSBO listing, right? Always have the permission beforehand, right? Don't get yourself into trouble that way. But there's a lot of really, really cool things that you can do here, all right? And plus, I was talking to a client yesterday, I've never gotten a good marketing piece in the mail from a real estate agent. I get stuff all the time, and it's all just crap. I hate to put it so bluntly, but it's just bad. And I get really, I don't get depressed per se, but I get a little bit, I get depressed for about 7 seconds looking at it, and then I'm just like, whatever. A bunch of people that just love spending money and wasting money without having any call to action or lead generation around it, right? I'll get the postcards that'll say, spring is a great time to sell. Call me for your free home valuation, right? Right? I don't know who the hell you are, right? I'm not going to call you. I don't know you, right? Where something like this, right? Hey, I'm listing things in your area. I'm selling things in your area. I'm holding homes open in your area. Hey, I'm getting listings into contract in your area, and it affects your home value. Would you like to get your free home value now? Boom. That's why it works, right? Because you just let them know you're working the area, you're getting stuff done in their area, and if they've got a need regarding it in your area, boom, get your home valuation now, right? Versus the stuff I get constantly, which drives me absolutely crazy. All right, we've hit that enough. Anybody else have any questions on either the listing landing pages or generating seller leads off of Facebook before I get into the property valuation landing pages and a few other things? And in fact, also, how to place a Facebook ad in under 2 minutes. Let me give this to everybody right now, and I'll try to make sure that I get this into the mastermind group as a post a little bit later today. Everybody get that link? I will, and I'll tell you how to get to it here in a second. On this link, it will walk you through step by step what we just did, and it will walk you step by step for the property valuation landing pages. All right? If I scroll there, you see the screenshots and everything for the property evaluation landing pages and 2 short little videos. These are silent videos, but we're going to walk through it here in a minute. And so you'll be able to remember what I did. And I did it just so you can see where to click, what you're putting in, and so on. All right? Super, super easy to do. So landing pages. You can create the landing pages for your area by just typing into the box and clicking save. So I recommend doing something, whether it's, if you're in San Francisco, do something like Noe Valley, right? Do by district if you're in a larger city. If you're in a smaller area or going after a smaller city, type in the name of the area, like Granite Bay, right? Getting into the neighborhood might be a little bit tight, right? Because you'd have to do, depending on the size of the neighborhood, right? So in a larger city, neighborhood might be Noe Valley, right? That's pretty big, and it's got its own zip code, so that's good. But if the quote-unquote neighborhood is a subdivision with 300 homes, that's not really big enough, right? Now, again, you can still do one for that subdivision, but keep in mind you're going to have one where you can reach, hopefully you're on 10,000 people minimum, if not more. So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? So anyways, get your areas there, hit save. There's lots of seller landing pages, and people use all of them and have success with all of them, and people use all of them and don't have success, all right? Property valuation +1. Anytime you see the plus, it means there's an automated valuation behind it. Anytime you see the word 1, that means there's no partial leads. Everything comes in on the 1 lead form, all right? So property valuation +1, property valuation plus, property valuation 1, nearby home sold +1, nearby home sold plus, growing family, free HUD report, property valuation 2. This actually works really well. Free value increase report, empty nester plus. That's another good one as well for going after seller leads. Empty nester, and then the custom free report. In fact, let me show you the custom free report real quickly, because we hit the property valuation plus or the property valuation and the nearby home sold all the time. Let me just show you real quickly here. A client is, and it comes up in the mastermind group quite a bit. Save $10,000 on your new condo. This is using a custom free report landing page to generate buyer leads. So this guy was generating buyer leads at the cost of about $2 to $3 per buyer lead. He was getting emails 100% of the time, and he's getting phone numbers 75% of the time with a landing page that looks like this. And he didn't want me to use his particular ad and landing page because he wanted to keep it a secret, which I do not begrudge him whatsoever. I'd probably feel the same way maybe. But let me just show you here something similar. And again, we talk about this all the time in the mastermind group. So here's a post coming soon: brand new luxury condos in Granite Bay, up to 10,000 financing credits available. If you get new construction in your area, those are awesome to advertise. And in fact, you don't even have to ask for permission if you're not actually using, right, the address or what have you. Now, I just said that. Always talk to your broker first or your MLS regarding your local rules, all right? But I know agents, right, go by and they'll take a picture, right? You can even ask them, hey, I got buyers. Could I advertise your home on, just could I advertise your listings in my marketing, right? Your inventory, right? Can I advertise, and that might be a great way to phrase it. Can I advertise some of your new construction inventory that you've got coming up? Right? Yeah, can I advertise? Right? Yeah, something like that. Don't get too detail-oriented. Don't get too detailed about it. But anyways, here's my post. His ad was very similar to what this looks like. You click it. Here's the landing page. And you fill it out. Boom. And he just sends him information about whatever it is that he's advertising. All right? This is a really, really, really cool landing page. Let me just show you real quickly before we get to the seller lead gen landing pages. If I go to the edit, there's my image, my header title, right? Save 10,000 in your new condo. My header description, the subline, those all appear on the landing page right above the lead form. I always like to position my lead form to the right. And the lead form, I've just got name. When you first log in, or when you first create the page, it'll look like first name, last name. And in fact, if I save it, let me just save this and you'll see what it looks like. Now, if I refresh this, it just says first name, last name. To me, right, I would rather get just name all in one field because that's 1, 2, 3, 4 fields now they got to fill out. So to get rid of that, just change first name to name and just delete last name altogether and then save it at the bottom. And now when I refresh, you'll see I'm back to 3 text entry boxes, right? So and it's cool because it's very targeted, right? Very targeted as far as the types of buyer leads you're generating. But they want, in this case, they want a new construction. So you may have a new subdivision in your area, maybe a new condo building in your area, right? You could even do something like that. Well, I'll show you another landing page a client created and was using as well. A couple things here I want to point out. If you could do a YouTube video, put it in there, and that will display on the landing page. You can upload a PDF. So if you want to do, as you can imagine, there are tons of uses for these types of landing pages, right? You're going to do a PDF upload that they get after they fill out the lead form. All the conversion pixels, AdWords pixels right there. So lots and lots of really cool things that you can do. I'll show you another landing page. I got this in my account as well. This may not look like much, but this landing page is working very well for this client. And I'll show you how to create it, ready to sell or buy, get a full report of what is selling and what is sold in your area you want. First name, last name, send to. And she's taking these leads and dropping them into Market Snapshot, right? Or you could drop them into your MLS, right? If your MLS shows, and it will send out information about sold listings, or your IDX, if your IDX will, right? That's kind of interesting, huh? I mean, the key is just to be different, right? Just to do something different. In fact, let me show you my account. If I go back to the landing page dashboard, custom landing page over here, there's 2 custom areas on this side and this side. So on this one, custom free landing page, Granite Bay, ready to sell or buy. You'll see what it looks like here. And I'll show you the edit. So I don't touch anything up here. Edit lead capture form call to action. I just put ready to sell or buy. That's the top line. Then I put get a full report of what is selling and what is sold in your area you want. I got name under first name, nothing for last name. Send email to under email. I changed my button to KW red. Don't stress on the KW part. If you're not with KW, you can still use it. I just like that red because it's a little bit of a brighter red. It shows up on the landing page nicer. And then all I did is I uploaded an image, right, of the area. To upload the image, you just click Insert Edit Image, and you upload the image. And this image is 600 pixels wide. Once you upload it, you can always click, and I can edit the image size right here. Save and update. And you'll see it'll get a tiny bit smaller. Right, there we go. So who would have thought that, I mean, if I would have looked at this landing page, I'd have been like, oh, interesting. But she's running ads on this and doing very well, right? Again, she's just putting them into Market Snapshot, but you could also put it into a different program very, very easily. And she also created, I don't know if I've got it in mind, I took the same one, and in her account, I created a full screen version of the same, essentially the same thing. Let's see here. Let me show you. I'll show you kitchen updates, see landing page, top 10 kitchen upgrades. So here's one with a video. And people fill it out. And in the autoresponder, I get a PDF. And you said I did a redirect to the Listings to Leads homepage. But in the PDF, in the email I get a link to the PDF of the report that's loaded up for that landing page. So you can see here, there's a ton of different uses for this, right? VA home loans, fixer-upper loans, lakefront buyers, sold story success. This is one where sold in 22 days above asking. Know how I sold this home 5% faster than other homes in the area, 20% above the asking price. Sometimes if you have a listing, right, that does really well, you can kind of a fun way to promote it using a custom free report landing page. Now, I'm not sending out any report off of it, but you can see, right, there's nothing too amazing about it. Right, name, address, send to, phone, boom. So there's a lot of really, really cool things here that you can do with these. So let's get back into the property evaluation. In fact, I want to show you guys something. One of the things that I am starting to see and work that we're doing with clients, and I'm going to go back to our Granite Bay page, is using promoted posts like this to generate seller leads. All right. So I'm going to let you take a look at that post I just gave. Did everybody get the link about how to place a Facebook ad in under 2 minutes? Right. Everybody get that link that I put in there? If not, let me know and I'll put it into the question box. Maybe everyone will do it that way. If not, but I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about doing a post that you can boost to the same marketplace, because I'm seeing lower cost per click and higher lead generation. So this is just a post to my page that I boosted, right? Granite Bay homeowner alert, right? So that's my post to my business page. Click here, or they click the image. They go to the landing page and they fill it out and I get the seller lead, all right? All right, Cindy, 1 second. Let me see if I can put that. Cindy's saying you guys may not have gotten that link. And this is just the same link I use all the time. All right, Cindy, let me know if you got that link now. And I'll also show you where you can see it inside of the account, all right? But it's taking information, putting it on your business page like this, and then boosting it, but where you're getting people to, first of all, read at least all or some of it, and again, they click, right, because you see below here, it says free Granite Bay home values instantly, text to, that's the text information, or text 25896 to the 888-264-1910 number. Again, on mobile, it's really cool because on mobile, all I have to do is use my thumb, press down on the 888 number here, and then it'll come up, do you want to send text to? Boom, I say yes, and I just put in 25896. You get the phone number 100% of the time, and you'll have to respond back to them to get their information, to send a valuation of their home. But also just people filling it out, right? See, I think I did another one. So that's one. Here's another one. Selling a home in Granite Bay in 2016, what you need to know about mortgage rates, international markets, and inventories. And then I did just write a quick little blurb, again, ending with the URL, right? I'm always ending it with, see what recent homes sold for in your neighborhood instantly and get a free home valuation report if you're considering selling a Granite Bay home in the near future below. Boom. And you'll see I'm using that same text below the image as well. And then I can boost these. Right? I can boost these and create a new audience, right? And add countries. And where is city name? Total, why am I not seeing? Wait, create new audience. Countries. Oh, there, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. Cities, all right. And that could go Granite Bay. So, and make sure you're only doing, for a seller landing page like this, only do the city, all right? I can do 18 plus, and I can take it down to 25. Maybe I just say 25 to 64, all, and then save. All right, so that's my audience. And then I can do whatever budget I want to do. Don't forget your duration, right? Maybe you run it for a week. Oh, I did total budget. Sorry about that. So I'll do $20. So total budget of $20 for a week. There we go. And then credit card, boom. And so an ad like this, we're seeing really good feedback on ads like this, results from ads like this, because I think people are starting to get a little bit tired of the straight up ad, right? I mean, ads are all over the place. And this is the same exact kind of thing that you see in a lot of other marketing, where you go from just a straight up marketing to providing a little bit more information, all right? Does that make sense to everybody? So I got my property valuation landing page. And let's go back to the landing page dashboard. And let's take a look at one. Right, so I create the landing page. I pick which one I'm going to use. Right? Now, I'm going to be using the Property Valuation Plus because it only asks for the address. And we are seeing a lot of the leads where the address only. When you use the partial to full lead converter, right, the name, email, and phone number, right, two of those three usually, sometimes all three, are coming back. So if I can just use this landing page where it asks for the address only, and they never fill out anything else, and I can get their name along with either an email or phone number most of the time, I'm ahead of the game, right? I'm really ahead of the game. So here's a partial to full lead converter, right? You'll see all these landing pages will convert, right, a partial lead, which is the address only, to a full lead in the sense of whatever information Cole has available. We include that in the lead notification email that you get. So if somebody fills out that landing page with the address and never touch another thing, the lead notification email that I get will typically contain the name, right, a lot of other information regarding the mortgage and, you know, cars and motorcycles and how long they've been in the home and all that kind of great stuff. And then most of the time, either phone number or email, and sometimes both, all right? So it's a really, really good service to do because it's going to let me generate a lot more leads, and I get a lot more information included with the partial to full lead converter, all right? Before I go into the edit part of that landing page, let me just make note, Facebook Advertising 101, a ton of great information on here as well. All right, you can take a look at that. Two things I'll point out as you scroll down. How to generate seller leads from your email signature, and how to generate seller leads from just listed, just sold postcards, right? Seller leads on Instagram, right? A lot of great stuff in there. How to generate seller leads from virtual tours, e-flyers and stuff right there, right? Awesome stuff. So that's the Facebook Advertising 101 button, and then the partial to full lead converter that I just talked about. But let me take a look at just Property Valuation Plus, and I will look at Granite Bay. I'll click on the edit. A couple things I'll point out. The view, copy link, embed code, and there's a location autofill version. This is the one that has the GPS behind it. Embed codes are really cool, right? Height. Don't display. I do don't display scroll bar. Don't hide legal information. I do that because wherever I'm going to embed it will already have my legal information on it, like my website, a blog, right? What have you, a single property website, right? So then I can copy the embed code and put that anywhere I want to put it. Just like the example I showed you earlier. Always make sure you use a great image. You can do a redirect after form completion, right? I can change the text however I want that text to look on the first page. How to generate seller leads and dominate your farm with letters, postcards, and email newsletters. That is the exact same thing that we talked about with Deborah Matthews, where she generated the 23 seller leads and 2 listings. And I'll tell you, about any stretch, and Deborah, if you're still going to keep calling on you, and I apologize if I'm bothering you too much, but to generate 23 seller leads and 2 listings, that is incredible as far as the 23 leads to 2 listings. I would love to get your feedback maybe on the quality of those seller leads, because obviously, I have to say obviously, they were tremendous. To be able to get 2 listings out of 23 leads, that is just mind-boggling. And I totally believe it is because I think the leads that you're going to generate from doing this are actually a higher quality lead than just a regular Facebook ad, right? And Deborah, if you have anything to mention to that, or Michael, let me know. But again, I can just click, that opens up a new window, right? Boom. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But back to this. You see some stats. There's a couple of different footers you can look at. If you're in an area, right? Now I can add 2 Granite Bay landing pages, and I could have one for single family homes, and I could have another one for condos. So if I wanted to include the unit field and make it required, I could, but just keep in mind that you're going to trip up all the single family home people. So you can always add a second Granite Bay landing page. I mean, as you saw on the landing page dashboard, let's go back to it. I'll click on Property Valuation Plus. I've got 2 Granite Bay landing pages here. So I could use one for condos, and I could use one for single-family homes, all right? So again, here's my landing page. Now, I've also got a vanity URL for it. I went to GoDaddy. I bought the vanity URL, and then I just did a forward to the URL here, right? So the vanity URL I've got, and let's go back to this page here. I got a lot of vanity URLs. This one I'm using for this particular use, Granite Bay freehomevaluations.com. If you don't know how to forward a vanity URL, just when you're at GoDaddy, click support, chat with support, or call them up on the telephone. I love GoDaddy because getting them on the phone or the chat is usually really easy, and you can just ask them, hey, I just bought Granite Bay freehomevalues.com. How do I change that, or how do I forward that to this other URL that I want to be able to use in my marketing, right? And as you can see here, right, that looks nice, but then when they click it, it just forwards to this URL. Boom, they can start using it, all right? So let me just do a little post like this, and I'll show you, I'll give you a couple of tips, all right? In fact, one I'm going to do for next week is something along the lines of this. And feel free to take this and use it if you want to. And I'm going to put Granite Bay homeowners are doing I'm almost done. Right, and then again, I'm going to tie it in. I'm just going to take this. That's my kind of, and I know I got a misspelled word there, no problem. Right, that's kind of at a minimum, right? Let's just go ahead and spell that word correctly. INCREASE. I would add a little bit more to it. Make sure it looks good. Usually, what I do is I'll write this in something like on Pages or a Word document. Excuse me, and edit it so that it looks great. And then I'm going to. Now, here's how I do it. Let me find my landing page. I'll come back into Facebook. Please let me find Facebook. I got so many. I apologize, everybody. There we go. So I'm just going to paste in the long URL first. And then if I want to, and I do that so it just everything pulls in nicely. Now I'm going to type in Granite Bay Free and then here I can notice how I can tap on or click on that, right? It becomes editable. And this is, think about it. This is using the same idea as those postcards that we talked about earlier and the listing letters, because what I'm doing, and I would actually edit this a little bit more, but I'm giving information, I'm equating it to their home value, and I'm offering them a free home valuation. Now I'll go back to the landing page. I'm just gonna, just like the listing landing page in a Facebook ad. And again, see here, I can copy that and just paste over it. Granite Bay homeowner. So Granite Bay homeowners are doing better than luxury homeowners in Los Angeles. The high-end luxury homes in LA. Now, here's what's really cool. You could even, in fact, let me see if I can do it. Let's say, so here's an article. In fact, I'll show you how to do this. This is kind of a cool little trick to know. I'm going to save this, save image as, so Lion Gate Estate. So I just saved that image to my desktop. Maybe I want to show an image that's a little bit more dramatic. Available images right below the post. I'm going to hit the plus. And I'm going to upload that image. And now one thing to note is the text that's below the current image, this runs with the image. And so I'm going to need to add that same text to here. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to need to re-add it again because I changed out my image. And I'm using this image only because it relates to the article, right? And it's a little bit more dramatic than what's on my landing page. And again, I'm going to come back here, get that text. I'm going to copy that text information right below the lead form. Right? Right. So again, this one's more kind of funny, right? Not funny, but kind of, what's the word I want to use? Not funny necessarily, but just something kind of different, light. It's a little bit lighter, right? And again, I would edit this a little bit stronger, but I want you to get the idea. Here's I'm publishing this, right? And now I got Granite Bay homeowner alert. Granite Bay homeowners are doing better than luxury homeowners in Los Angeles. The high-end luxury homes in LA are seeing on the market not selling and suffering drastic price cuts. And Granite Bay homeowners are seeing a 3% price increase this month over last. see what recent homes sold for in your neighborhood instantly and get a free home valuation report for selling in the future, right? And they click, they go to the landing page, boom. But it's cool because I'm using this post, excuse me, to get their attention, right? You'd be surprised. People actually will read this if it's well written, right? If you got a nice little write-up here, and I can just take and boost this, right? Audience 1, right? That's my audience 1, where I can go and I can create a new audience. I can say, you know what, let's do this for, I can even do, $5 for one day, see how it works, and hit the boost on the far right-hand side. And I can try different things to see what works. Right? Does that make sense for everybody? On that link that I gave everybody, and you'll see it also on the landing page dashboard. When you click on go to the landing page dashboard, that free Facebook advertising, when you click that, you will see the how to post to Facebook in under 2 minutes. Right, how to place a Facebook ad in under 2 minutes. It's right below the Shannon Pyatt ad. And on here, you'll see a step-by-step write-up on how to do a regular Facebook ad. I'll scroll down, I'll show you. Right, Granite Bay Homes, find out the value of your Granite Bay home now, Granite Bay home values, or text. And then there's a little video that walks through it as well, all right? So everybody kind of good on that? So there's kind of your average standard ad. And then also how to do something just a little bit different, right? A little bit more kind of fun, but also, like I said, in the example, in the I shouldn't say examples, but in what we are doing, we are seeing a lower cost per click and actually a greater lead generation, greater lead conversion doing something like this, all right? All right, any questions before we end the webinar today? I really appreciate everybody on the call today. Any questions? Everybody good to go? All right, everybody. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate your time getting to the Mastermind group. Love to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.